Greetings, you are watching a channel where a dude says he is making a portal for musicians, but instead shows the code. Situation where you need to edit a composer dependency for development are common. It could be a simple change in PHP version requirements that the package developer hasn't yet considered, or a unique changes that for various reasons are not included in the package. This also includes packages that are not longer maintained or are in uncertain state. But before I start, please don't believe the Russian propaganda. They rob, kill and rape, and they spend $1 million on propaganda. Support Ukraine. Thank you. The vast majority of composer packages host their source code on GitHub. It is easiest to make a copy of the repository for your needs from GitHub with a single click on the fork button. Fill a simple form with repository name, optional description, and checkbox copy the master branch only. Click create fork and you have own copy of the package. In my case, I need to allow the PHP inside package to scan the tests directories. It is very easy to synchronize your fork with the original in GitHub. Just click sync fork button. Here I got just one advice. Do not edit the main branch of your fork. Synchronization becomes difficult if you have code conflicts. So make your branch and work in it. For synchronization, just merge with master branch. Now I can go to composer.json file and create repository section. It could be array of object or object in key-value format. For GitHub, object should contain type VCS version control system and URL link to your fork. Next, manually or by command, I need to update the version of package in the format. Prefix dev with dash and branch name. Many people get stuck at this stage. Remember, dev prefix is required. Dev master, dev main, dev dev, whatever you want. If you write manually, just run command, composer update and package name. And it's done. Now you are using the version from your fork, you can close the video. But I worked in outsourcing companies, where forks were almost never made to the customer's account. There were always personal accounts of developers. And of course the developers were fired, taking control of the fork with it, adding big risks to the project. So I insist on keeping package forks in the main repository. In my case, in GitLab. I'm going to GitLab, back subgroup, create new subgroup with name third party. Here important, for GitLab registry package, group is mandatory. Without a group you cannot access to the package. Inside group click to create project and import project. Next select a repository by URL. It is important to understand here, this is not a fork, this is literally a project import. It imports all branches and tags from the original, and if you are premier user and click to mirror repository, it will synchronize all branches from GitHub, not just main. This feature is about business, not about open source. Come to our GitLab. Migrate your project. The fork exists in GitLab and works exactly like in GitHub. But I have to import project now. And you should know that if there is no automatic synchronization, we can synchronize manually. Locally include both repositories. So the recommendation is the same as in GitHub. Do not work in master branch. So I go to settings, repository, disallow anyone to push to master branch, create new branch with name develop and set develop branch as default. Also make it protected, disallow to push in it without merge request. And now we got difference with GitHub. To work with Composer, we need to upload the project to GitLab package registry. Of course, this can be done from the local machine, but I insist never to do that, because you never know what your team will deploy there. So I immediately create a GitLab CI script. Very simple, one stage, two command. First install CURL, because Alpine don't include it. Second, push the project to GitLab package registry. And script should run this job only for tags in format the semantic version, dash and dev. It is not necessary, but you don't want to conflict with the package developer's tags. You can find all code by link in description. So I make commit, make tag 0.0.1 dash dev, waiting for the jobs to be completed, all green, all cool, and go to deploy package registry and see my package with tag version. And here you can see the difference in design. If you go to the package in the project, there will be no comments. But if you go to the package in the project group, you can see click command for work with Composer. The first will create a new registry inside Composer.json file, and the second one should download package from package registry. But as you can see, it requires authorization. It is not useful entering the login and password every time. So I go to user preference, personal access tokens, and create Composer token with access to read API. Only read API access. Now I can run a command, composer config, GitLab token gitlab.com. Here you should use your GitLab domain, token and token with read API access. This will create our JSON file. Make sure it is in gitignore, and don't forget to add this command to readme file. So trying to update the package again, and all cool. Now I can use package from GitLab package registry. Of course, you can allow using the package without authorization. Visibility project feature permissions, package registry allow anyone to pull from package registry. Since this is an open source package, we will not lose anything in terms of security. But be aware that developers are lazy and like to copy. So if you have more than one project and team members can change them, know that with a high probability publicly available packages are already using them. And you will find about it when the project is frozen, transferred to another repository, and etc. I don't like that. I like to minimize such risk. So I leave authorization mandatory. And do not forget, authorization is mandatory for your CI scripts. First of all, I have to add authorize command into CI script. Simply authorize using CI job token. And I should go to package project, settings, CI CD, token access, limit access to this project, turn off, press add group or project, and add group with my main project, back in my case. This is what I talk about in the video about infrastructure. So CI script is ready, and I can finally customize the PHP Insights package for my needs. Open project locally and go to composer.json file. Always look at script section. I see test script. It's cool, try to run, and I got a lot of code style errors. This happens if the project is not well maintained. Here I want to say that all who develop open source are great people, even if they could not support the development. Open source developers make our world a lot easier, and I advise to support them. When the war is over, I will also support. But go back to the code. As you can see, code styler starts scanning the vendor directory. Of course, I can figure out and fix it, but it is a long time. But I can see PHP unit test command. Run it and all good. Some functions are deprecated, but it's not my case. So I go to source infrastructure repository, find constant default exclude, and remove test directories. Run PHP unit tests. All good. This means that this code was not covered by the tests. It is bad, but okay. Now I need to check if it works on the project. To do this, I need to add a repository to the project with type local and absolute path to package project in URL property, and install the package version at dev. Add dev is required. This will create a link to the local directory of package project, and all changes in it will be reflected in the main project. But I am using Docker, and Composer inside Docker container do not know about host file system. So I have to create volume, absolute path to package project on host, and some temporary dir inside container, var insights in my case. And in registry for path I use var insights, not absolute path on the host. I have to create var insights directory inside container, because Docker do not create any directory inside containers, just in host already. And now I can run a command php artisan insights, and all cool. As you can see, php insights now can see my test directories. Say that function kebab case name is bad, please use camel case. You can say that kebab case is a standard for tests, and I will say that everything that is not automated is a recommendation. Here we need to create some specific rules for test directory somehow, or relax and accept that the entire project will be in the same code style. I choose to relax. So conclusion, use GitLab forks. It is easy and useful, but if you make a project for someone, show respect to the team and to the customer, and keep forks in the same place as the project. Reduce the bus factor. That's all. Thank you. Support Ukraine and open source.